Go. So I'd like to start down the hallway, and these are pictures that I put up of the family, and I don't know, Jim says he doubts that you can see anybody in here. The first section right here is Jim's family, and the second section down here on this side is David and Kathy and Mike. It's my family, but this is the Horn family, I should say, on this side. And I have many more pictures that I would like to put up. But this here is of when Daddy passed away. Here's Linda and Jody. There's you, and there's Roy here, and it's in Willie Earl and everybody. And this picture was down in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And several pictures. And this one here is some old pictures. Yeah, that was pictures. And this one up here is of Connie's wedding. I was a lot skinnier then. And this is some old pictures that I've got. Remember Mother in Curly's outfit, his helmet and everything. And there's a picture of Cecil. And there is all the brothers except, no. Yeah, except E.L., he's not there. And of course this is Mother and Daddy when they were very young. Not young, but a lot younger. And this is May and me years ago. Was on what you'd call a bean. I don't know what you'd say, where they grew beans at. We were sitting there. And this is Grandma and me and Louise. And this was when we were in in Roswell many years ago. And Mother always fixed my hair. She pulled it up and put a knot on top of my head. And that was me and Louise. And here is my bedroom. It's nothing much. But I love ceramics. I play with ceramics all the time. This vase here, I didn't make. Terry, my daughter-in-law, made the vase for her home, but the colors didn't quite match, and she didn't like it. So I said, "Hey, I'll take that vase." It's very nice, I thought, in the bedroom. And here is my doll. I work a little bit in porcelain, and I was telling May, I made this doll. It come in all kind of parts. You had to clean it several times, and very easy to break. And May has a doll also like this, a different type. But of course this is a wig. Everything's a wig. The dress, and then also if you can get a close in on the hands, they're so natural. Yeah, and of course her feet are the same way. And I had to paint the eyelashes and the lips, and then putting the eyes in. And they were very hard to do. And so, but anyway, it was worth the effort. And then put the coloring on the skin and everything. I want to make a boy just like it so they could be twins. I haven't done that yet. But I really enjoy this little doll, especially all the work that went into it. And like I said, here I'm in ceramics again. This is another thing I made. This is a horse, a carousel, and I painted that and glued all the stuff onto it and made the base. It's kind of cute. Also, I made the lamp and the lampshade, and I really should give it to my granddaughter, but I hate to part with it after you work so hard on something. And of course she's awful young, but anyway, I enjoyed that. I enjoy doing things like this. It's kind of calming and peaceful. But anyway, we will go on into my other bedrooms, and I will show you, since the kids has left. This used to be Michael's room, and right now it's Christmas time, and so you can see the junk in here. And the presents I've hidden. This is a door that we keep closed all the time, but this used to be Michael's room. And I can throw everything away, and it's a bedroom for anybody who wants to come and visit. but like I said, it's kind of in shambles right now. I'm making a pot-belly stove. This is ceramics, if Jim can get over here, and I'll show you one in the living room that's complete, but I'm making one for Jim's sister, Deedle. She lives in Washington, D.C., and it's got a little light in it, and it flickers, and so I think that she'd enjoy that. And this is a mop doll. If any of you gals are interested, and I think you'll have to wait a minute, I got my stove stuck to it. But this is made out of a mop. You know, we've used mop for years for mopping the floor, but this is just a plain old mop, and you just make it into a doll. And believe it or not, that they sell for $25 to $35 at the store, at the craft store. But it's kind of cute, and I enjoyed making it. Well, we're into David's room, which now I call my ceramic room, and this is where I do most of my ceramics, my paintings and stuff, and I enjoy it very much. This is, and I never can say the word, and Jim will have to tell me, nativity scene, and we're going to have to cut this off because somebody just rang the doorbell. The scene that I made, it's not the prettiest, but it took me so long. If you figure minimum wage, it'd be worth about $500 because each one took 3 coats of paint on it, and even to this day I have no compliments on it, but I am going to put that out for Christmas come heck or high water because I know I put too much labor on it. I figure I'd get me a prize at the first person who said, "Oh, I love that," I'm going to give them the prize. But I worked very hard on it, and I'm kind of happy with it, but it was a lot of labor and I wouldn't do it again. And these are some other Christmas stuff that I haven't got. I've got ready to go in the kiln and they paint. Also, if Jim would turn up and see my Christmas boot and my Halloween stuff that he is not looking at right now. These are things I do and I enjoy doing them. And also, I don't want to get in his way, but if he will turn around to this wall, this is something that my mother made. I think she made May one like it, or similar to it. Yeah, it takes a lot of work for this, and I'm very proud of it. Yeah, because I remember her sitting and making it. You know, she's always handy with her pillow slips and with her dresser scarves and everything else, and I'm very proud of this. So, Jim, maybe we should cut it off now. Pot-belly stove that I said I was making for my sister-in-law, and this is mine that I have, and I don't know if Jim can show you, there's a little flickering in there. I think it's really cute, kind of unique, and I enjoy it very much.
Doesn't look like it's flickering.
Well, it will flicker. I just turned the light on. It takes a while, and it will flicker. But anyway, this is our living room, and we love this fireplace, especially now that we've had so many windstorms that we've had Carrie and Connie without power, and they do have a fireplace, but these are the new types that they're just there for looks. Well, this will heat the whole living room, the bedroom, and half the downstairs up when you get a fire into it. In fact, it heats it. Jim and I like a very cold bedroom, and it heats the place up till it's very warm and we can't sleep good at night. But in case we're without power, we can always be warm, if nothing else. And I'll let you, as Jim comes, I'll show you the dining room. And this is just a plain old dining room. We had Thanksgiving here yesterday, and we've had a lot of Christmases and a lot of get-togethers. And I want to show you some cups, Jane, if you're interested in china. And I love my sweet daughter-in-law, but they're very young. And her grandmother gave her these, when she passed away, she gave her these china cups. And Terry come over and says, "Mom, I don't want them," you know. And I got to look at it, and I'm not very much on this kind of stuff. but they're all bone china. And her grandfather was in the Navy, and I guess at every port he hit, he bought a cup and saucer. And they're from all over, and I thought, oh, they're too pretty to pack away. So anyway, I bought this little hutch, and I put them in it, and I've told Terry and Mike that it's theirs whenever we pass away or whenever they want it. They've got a brand new home now, and I said, do you want these cups? And they said, no, you keep them. But they're gorgeous, they're pretty, and I kind of checked into them, each one of them, depending on, they say the gold that's on them is the price value. And so some of them up to $60, $70, and some of them were $40, and some of them were $20. But they're all worth money, and they're beautiful things. It's nothing fancy, but it's something funny about when everybody comes, we end up always in the kitchen drinking coffee or drinking pop, and the living room is very rarely used. As Jim goes around, you can see a fan. That fan's in the window, even if it's got 2 foot of snow outside, is because of us smoking. And Michael and, of course, most of the young people don't smoke, and they don't like the smoke, so we leave that fan to hopefully get some of the smoke out. Downstairs, this is our front door. I guess they call this a tri-level. This here is for Ken. These cattails, when Ken was up here, now Jody, that is Karen's husband. He was up here, he worked for Boeing, and they was up here for some training. And so anyway, I was complaining that I wanted some cattails. And where he worked, he found some on the way up here, and he brought them to me. So Ken, I want you to know I still got those cattails. And they're very pretty, and I've had a lot of compliments on them. I have to watch Jim. This cord gets in his way. We're downstairs, and this is Mother's last quilt she made. She said that she had saw this quilt from a sister in a church. Now, I don't know whether it was New Mexico or what, but she had won a prize at the state fair with it. And she was making me one. She never got it finished. But what I like about it is she always saved every scrap there was, every scrap of material. And I can see some of my dresses when I was very young. I can pick them out. Louise can pick some of hers out, even the grandkids' clothes that she made. And to me, it's very precious. And I didn't know what to do with it. I felt that it should belong to the whole family. And I was thinking about cutting up into squares, but May and Louise said no. She said, just leave it in one piece. So I've got it on my wall down here. I'm very proud of it. What she did with this, and I will tell you the work involved. She took a piece of cardboard, a round piece of cardboard, and she cut every circle out. And then she stitched it, gathered it all together. And then she sewed it on each one. And that's a lot of work. I'm not much in quilting. I know that May and Debbie and Karen are, but to me that's a lot of work just for the top cover. But I think it's very pretty. And I'm very happy, and I've had a lot of compliments on that. Okay, over here, and I'm going to step in the way, is the bookshelf. I want to speak a little bit about these books here. They were, what, 1905, and they're very old, and in fact, they don't even talk about the airplanes flying together. And we've had them for years. Of course, some of them, the only things missing, Jim said, is one map, but they're all in order, and maybe they're worth something, I don't know, but they're very interesting to read, especially when it comes to religion. They have a half a volume on hard shell religion and stuff like that. So, and also Ruth kept Mother's pictures but she really didn't have room for them. And so anyway, I took them, and these are her cards. And if Jim can show you, those are all her albums. And so I brought them over here, and I put them in these containers, and I put whatever it is to keep them dry and moist. And they belong to the family. I'm just storing them. These are all her photographs, and everybody at the funeral had their chance of taking pictures, but I know there's many that didn't get all the pictures. And Jody, I'm sure through this albums, there's family and people that I don't know, that you know, but they're here and they're for everybody. So here's Jody Wilburn sitting in a tree. But they're all pictures, and they belong to all of us. And anybody, the only thing you have to do is come up and stay with me, and you pick out all the pictures that you want. She put these in cards too, and they're yours. You know, Mother, she saved everything there was to save. So they're here, and I come down sometimes and sit down and look at them. And like I said, there's a lot of them that I don't know. They're very old pictures that I don't know who they are, but probably you or Ruth or Roy or could tell me who they are. But anyway, these here are all her cards. If you ever send her a card, it's in here. They have all kind of cards. And so I've saved those too. And let Jim walk over and show his computer room. Oh, first of all, I want to show you this stove. If I don't lose my breath. This stove we got from our neighbor. And it's the most heaviest. Jim and I had to push it up and push it into place. Let's see if I know how to open it. And of course, you see all these cigarette butts that we're not supposed to be smoking. But in the bottom of it is bricked. It's bricked all the way around. And it takes a while to heat up, but once it heats up, you could fry an egg on top of it, practically. And it keeps everything down here warm. In fact, you'll open windows when you get through with it. But it's a very nice stove, but it is a heavy booger. And this is some more of my ceramic stuff that I usually set out in the summertime, but I got it in for the winter. This is Jim's little room, and he's been sitting here with his computer working on genealogy, some of Joe's. In fact, he was saying that he was up late last night, too. He couldn't sleep after all that Thanksgiving dinner. And he was up for about 3 hours, and he said, I have got about 3/4 of the way through with all of Curly's material that he's sent him. And so he's also got, what would you say, I won't say a tape, some information from Salt Lake City. It's a new program that you put all this information on. And so he's playing with that too. And this is his cars from Texaco. Every year they put out a car, and he's got them since the beginning of them. And anyway, he enjoys them. And this is his room and all his stuff. I will show you this, if you'll let me scoot by. This is an old tape recorder.
It's an old record.
Record recorder, okay. This is
record
old
player.
This is an old record player. And some of these records are real thick. And we also got this from a neighbor. They're extreme.
Tape recorder.
Huh? Well, we paid for it, yes, but he had it and he was going to sell it, and we got it. And these are very, very, very old records. I don't recognize half of them. And Jim does a few, but not all. But it's a very nice. Yeah, I told you about that ham you sent me, that I was going to hang it up because of the cats. Jody, Jim thinks the only ham you can buy is from Tennessee, a good old country ham, and it's not good for you. May says, don't eat too much, but Jim loves it. Anyway, he asked May and Curly to send him one, and he did, and when it come, the cats went crazy over the box, and he's afraid they might get into the ham. So anyway, he's hung it up. He's hung it up so the cats can't get into it, and this is our, I guess, little workshop. It's messy. There's your lanterns that you sent us. Of course, you can't see it with, and he appreciates them very, very much. This is something new. We had a very small patio, and when Jim was off work during the summer, he finished building the upper patio, and I really enjoy it. We haven't got everything up here yet, but it's a lot longer and it's a lot nicer. I'm downstairs. Jim built the stairs, and of course it's winter time, so I don't have nothing out. All my flowers are dying, but we have a nice large patio down here, deck I guess you call it, and we could take care of a lot of relatives. All we need is you to come. And Jim and I made me this little bitty pool here. It's got a fountain in it. We got it cut off for the winter, but we had some goldfish in it. They lived. They're doing pretty good, but I think they're froze to death. And we have our little bird feeder, and we need to put. We've got tulips ready to plant, and I've been too lazy to get out here and plant them in that concrete bowl. You might peek through here and show them the horses that we have. We have a farm right behind us. It used to be an old dairy. It's got a silo on it, but she has 3 horses. You can see 2 of them, and you can see the fence of our neighbor. We had a windstorm here, and it blew the fence down, and it did quite a bit of damage all the way around. We were lucky. We lost a few shingles, but that was all we lost. But he lost some of his fence, and the neighbor across the street lost some of their fence. And Connie and Carrie, again, was without power. They was without for about 2 days. Carrie had to go and stay at a friend's house because it was so cold. And I think Connie went out to Louise and Art's, and they were lucky Louise and Art didn't lose their power, because these them are kind of in trouble because they don't have a fireplace out there. If they lose power, they don't even have water because they're on a well and they have a pump. And so, but luckily, they said it blinked a few times, but luckily they were okay. But there was so much storm damage that you couldn't get out to their place, and when you called, you couldn't even get through. But we had a little light wind last night, and it did kill a woman and 2 children. A tree fell on their car, but other than that, it wasn't too awful bad. But anyway, Jim's showing you our back porch and our deck, and it needs a lot of cleaning to it. But anyway, everybody's welcome to come see us. We'd love to have you. And like I said, I'm not bragging about my place. Jody, I'd like for you to take your camera and take a picture of all your fruit trees and your home and everything.
I was asleep.
And I got there and Denise opened the door and the dog jumped out. We had a heck of a time getting him back in the car, so he peed on everything out there. Oh,
Tilly.
we on the...
Tilly, what?
Till he peed on everything out there? That's what I thought you said.
We got Kevin here.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
He's
Ruth, you
out.
want to get over there?
Get over there and start talking.
I don't
He's
talk
out
to
chasing him
cameras
another
on.
girlfriend.
Another one?
Said he had one on the road, one on the string.
Who?
Debbie, or something like that.
Who? Kevin got another
Pat's
girlfriend?
girlfriend's roommate.
What's he gonna do this and he's got now?
When he catches her, he's going to turn her loose. That's what he always
No.
does.
Well, you want to say hi to Roy and J.N. and Richard? Because that's copies of this going
And
to.
Roy, yeah, Roy, yeah.
Hi, Roy and Gladys.
Jody and Jay.
Jody and Jay.
Are you not going to say hi to them?
Well, give me time. I want that to soak in first. I don't want to rush this.
You trying to,
Yeah,
you
she
trying to
doesn't
say them people back there are slow?
Now, I forgot who I said hi to.
Just like you forgot your birthday?
Who did I say hi to?
Gladys?
Roy and Gladys. Roy and Gladys, yeah, okay. Hi, May, Curly, and girls.
Curly girl.
Yeah,
Girls.
I don't
Curly
want to
girl.
cut it short. I don't want to go all the way to there. And,
Cut what short?
Hi,
You
Richard.
don't know their names.
Yeah, okay, now I'm going to do you just like you did me. Now, go ahead. Y'all say hi. It's your turn.
Name all your cousins by name.
I don't know. See, Grandma, I tell them the truth. I don't know. I don't just say girls. I just say I don't know.
But I'd like to know.
No.
Send me a ticket for an airplane. I'm Jerry. That's my daughter. That's my wife Pat. That's my mama-in-law.
Mama-in-law.
That's my uncle holding the camera.
Who's that?
What?
That's my daughter, Denise.
There you go.
He already said that.
Denise Ruth, the pill.
That's my daughter. And when he said Denise, they probably think he said niece. My daughter, niece.
No, her nickname's Niecy.
We got a real good picture that's going down there when she graduated. Remember her here in her new dress?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's going down. We're putting everything on this film.
Yes,
Oh my
now
God.
She graduated.
I want to see that tape
Oh,
when
yeah,
you
I
send
do.
it. You may have to take some off of it. When I got on this old sweatshirt, I need to get something lacy.
We'll wrap it around you. There you go, Grandma.
You can't see over here.
You want to put the sewing machine cover on your head, Mom?
Sewing machine cover.
Dress up.
She wants to dress up.
Oh.
That's it. Knock the lantern or the chandelier
Why
down.
don't you step out front here so people can see?
No, I just.
It's on.
You're not getting that on film, see, because it's behind the post.
Oh, that's fine.
That's what she wants.
I'm gonna think you're
Don't she
getting
look
married or
special?
Get back there.
Well, get back here. I'll make a mess. Don't have something to see. The cameraman just knocked the camera over.
There, she got it.
Now,
It's running.
now
Where's
that
the
I look
cigarettes at,
better.
Father?
Can they see you behind me?
Of course.
Now, Denise, do you remember your cousins' names?
Karen,
What are you doing?
Karen
Shayla,
and
Debbie.
see there, she remembered. She didn't have any coaching either. This sure is special, just sitting here looking at this camera. We're just knowing everybody's going to enjoy this.
No.
Oh,
Say how old you are.
Denise is a
what color
sophomore.
your
She's
hair
50.
is.
Shut up. Denise is a sophomore. She's 15 years old.
How old?
15.
How old?
15 and 3/4.
Well, you're not 16 yet, honey. Don't push it.
She thinks she can drive.
Somebody else hold this microphone.
Eugene
Bobby, what are you
Warrior.
doing?
You just let me run my
Get
own
over and get
camera.
into this.
I don't take the pictures.
Well, you don't have to take them. You just have to
Well,
sit.
do you think we're over here because we take good pictures?
Besides, everybody wants to see all the family, Eugene. This is part of it.
There. Your hair looks amazing.
You got more blood in this family than I do.
Okay.
Well, we need to see your face, not your back. You pull the chair.
Don't sit in front of your sister.
Yeah, you're fast way.
No, don't knock me
I mean, if
out.
you want to turn that, loosen the knob underneath it.
You didn't tell me that.
Who's smoking?
Was.
Oh, Jonas.
Oh, gee, talk
Is my tablecloth straight,
Our
Jim?
camera shy.
You don't have to put it in his
I
nose.
know, it's just a joke.
I didn't know what that was just put there.
That's the camera, Eugene.
Need a light?
I thought that was just giving me.
Everybody acts so intelligent.
Look at her over there and I sewing. One is two, two,
Well, at least we're not wearing a tablecloth.
This is my lace shawl. What are you talking about?
Lace
Tablecloth.
Play shawl.
like shelf. Phew.
Hey, hang me, Uncle Jim.
As you can see, this is part of the Miracle family, and part of the Luckadoo family, and part of the Kozer family, and they're just about as talkative as Mike and Terry. A little bit more. They said more than word. But anyway, words. And we got Ruth sitting over here with her shawl on. She says she's going to wear that to church tomorrow. She's going as the Virgin Mary.
No, I'm only going as Mary, not
Grandma, you never told me.
So anyway, I think we'll wrap it up here pretty quick as soon as Bobby can find the stop button.
Yeah, we're having fun.
She hasn't found the stop button yet.
We're just warming up. Yeah, we're just warming up. What are you doing?
All right. We'll lay the microphone down here so I can
Let
open it.
Denise talk. She thinks.
Here you go, Denise. Talk for a while. You've got cousins over there you've never met.
Tell about your boyfriends.
Boyfriends?
Yeah, well,
Is
just
it-
say
is
about
this
all your
tape-
boyfriends and we'll send this
What?
one to
Is this tape going to Jody?
Yes.
Yeah,
It is.
and Roy.
And to Roy Lee.
And the man.
And
So
the
what do
May.
you wanna
And the
say?
Richard. You want to say hello to your
Richard.
son?
I've already said hello to my son.
No comment.
You say happy birthday to him. It's coming up.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Richard.
The camera's over there. Not the camera, that's the microphone.
And happy birthday, Michael Shackleford.
That's right. This is the 27th.
Yeah, Las Vegas. Gee whiz.
No,